For those in attendance unfamiliar with Digital Nirvana, we're a San Francisco-based company founded in 1996 with roughly 750 employees deployed globally. We're a knowledge management software company serving the media and the entertainment community with deep expertise in speech-to-text, subtitle caption and teletext creation, metadata generation, metadata extraction, and various forms of powerful video intelligence. Digital Nirvana is an innovator in the AI and machine learning space, delivering actionable value to content creators and media operators across the globe. Some of our marquee clients include Turner Entertainment Networks, the USTA, Discovery Communications, Warner Media, Fox News, Comcast, and Univision. For today's session, it's our goal to provide you with some real-world examples of exciting work being done leveraging the latest AI and ML technologies across the content production and media delivery landscape. In the area of content acquisition, content contribution, and production, we'll be exploring a speech-to-text and captioning workflow we co-developed with a well-known entertainment news and information outlet. For this client, the most pressing requirement was the ability to turn around and deliver accurately captioned content within a very short time frame. We'll also spend some time discussing applications of AI in the content delivery space, primarily the mining of insights from within content, which allow our clients to analyze and report on product placements, perform ad classification, and uncover potential compliance issues, such as identifying explicit content. So going back to our first use case, our entertainment news client, the single biggest driver was time, or the extreme lack of time. Like many operating in the news arena, deadlines are tight and time is in short supply. Our client had a 2-hour window in which to ingest, edit, caption, and deliver its finished product to an OTT provider in the expected format. Added to this challenge was a large quantity of daily raw contribution content from the field, all of which had no metadata or context of any kind. At this time, I'm going to ask my colleague Russell to jump in and walk us through some of the details of this client success story and how they overcame these challenges. Russell?
Oh, thanks, Ed. So in this case, essentially, while the ingestion, extraction points, all or the output format, all of that were different. The primary solution or the machine learning solution that we were using was speech to text, or what you call as ASR, automatic speech recognition. So what we did was we take the incoming feed or the field recordings and pass it through our speech to text system, and then the resulting word by word time coded transcript was presented to the user in a editor window, a UI where users can go in and quickly review the content if required, or add additional annotations, and then ingest it back into their production asset management system, or PAM. So that basically helps the creative team to go quickly search, type in a search term, and then bring up the relevant content much faster, right? Rather than going through the entire set of raw footage, now they have the ability to search for relevant content and create content much faster. So that was the primary idea of having a speech-to-text based metadata back into their production asset management system.
Excellent. Thanks, Russell. You know, the second challenge for this client was the need to deliver accurately captioned content within the time frame allotted. Adding to this requirement was the need to deliver content in full compliance with their OTT provider's stringent style guidelines for captioning and subtitles. Of course, the tight timeframes mandated this work be done in-house using only internal staff, not a turnkey third-party resource. Could you give us some additional color, Russell, on this portion of the workflow?
Sure. Now this gets pretty interesting because, there are a couple of technologies involved here. So when it comes to caption generation, we know the basic element would be, again, transcription, where we use speech to text and then have a transcript created. Now there is speech to text involved in transcript generation, and then users will clear the content-based errors. And now, uh, considering the amount of time, now time is the essence and time is a key here, where the users have to publish the content much faster. And now what happens is, what we were looking for is to reduce the amount of time that captioners or users are spending in terms of captioning this content or converting this transcript into a usable transcript or usable caption file. What we do is we use a layer of natural language processing capabilities, NLP, so that we can accomplish not only the technical requirements, but also the operational requirements. So technical requirements are basically splitting the transcript into captions as based on 32 characters per line, or 2 lines per caption, or the reading speed of 150 words per minute. All of that falls into the technical category where you can split using a set of algorithms. Now, when it comes to the grammatical or punctuation-based or proper noun-based splits or silence-based splits, it requires a little bit more extra. So what we did for here is using our application, we using natural language processing technology, we created a set of algorithms which in effect gives the user or present the transcript in a way that the user doesn't need to spend much time. So they can benefit much from the technology, that they don't need to spend more time in terms of whether it is syncing because it's already audio synced, and then splitting of captions based on either technical or operational requirements. So that's what we did for this customer in terms of captioning assets. Right?
Yeah, so Russell, while we're on the subject of accuracy, can you address the topic of speech to text and the accuracy of AI-based transcription for the creation of captions?
So, Ed, like you already know, the speech to text quality is directly proportional to the quality of the audio. So here, like, we have done a lot of improvements in terms of noise cancellation, cutting the background noise. It still has an impact on the incoming quality. In this case, what was happening was this was broadcast quality, right? So what we were seeing is 98% quality on the 98 to 99% quality, where the users did not have much of corrections in that frame. But we also see where there are feeds from raw footages coming from the street interviews, where the quality can be like 90%, 95%. So it varies. It has a dependency on the quality of the audio that comes in.
And while we're on the subject of accuracy, can you speak to the type of confidence scoring involved in transcript generation, along with the tools operators use to review and edit the speech-to-text transcript?
Oh, really? We have done some modifications in our application, so that the confidence score for each word is printed at the backend along with the text. So previously, what the users would have to do is, if there is a 1 hour transcript, they will have to go through the entire transcript to make corrections. Now, what we are doing is we are identifying the low confidence score based, say, for example, out of the 1 hour transcript, there are like 50 words that are incorrect, that the system says it is low in confidence. We highlight those portions so that user doesn't need to go in depth into the whole remaining 1 hour content. They can just directly go to the low confidence words and then correct those. So that is also available right now.
Right. And as I think back, Russell, there was actually a third challenge that this client also needed to address. And this is something that we're seeing more and more from many other content producers and media outlets. And that is that these days, operators need to localize subtitles and captions for delivery of content in alternate languages to other countries. I believe in this case, the need was for English and Latin American Spanish. Could you provide us some more detail and insight into this aspect of this project?
Yeah, you're right. That's so. In this case, there are two use cases. The first one was to naturally create the localization for English captions, create localization in terms of Latin American Spanish. So here, what we were doing is, as you can see on the screen right now, what we call as a dual pane window present. So once you create the English captions, now the system uses an algorithm. So this comes from our linguistic research, where the system collects a group of words, not just a sentence or not just a frame by frame captions, not the entire set of captions. It automatically identifies a group of sentences that would accurately give an output, translated or a localized output, without even losing the essence. Essentially, that means when the user goes to goes through or review the translated text or localized text, he doesn't need to spend much time there, because it could be the automated translation could be as good as it can get, because of the way you collect the set of words or sentences or group those. So that's what we did in terms of translation. So again, like I said, this customer doesn't have much time to review, so they do the translation, single click translation, and they get the translation in Spanish, and then they review it quickly, and then within the 90 minutes they have all the process done and export the output. And they can do more languages as well, as because that is possible in this application. Now the second use case was to import an existing caption, English caption, and then use the same methodology to translate into different languages, again Spanish. So that also is possible, because automatic translation just takes the primary language content and applies the algorithm, applies the automatic translation machine learning process over the existing captions, and then create a new caption file in the new language.
Right. Very
So
exciting.
you would see a lot more content, unlike 2 years ago, a couple of years ago. You would see a lot more content coming up in different languages, localized languages, in a lot of platforms. You take any platform, you see a lot more content. So this again was way too helpful for them in terms of creating more content with in multiple languages, as well as generating those in reduced amount of time.
Right. Very, very true. So in the time we have remaining, which is not much, I just want to transition to our next segment in which we're going to examine two different use cases from two different MVPDs. In both instances, these operators both distribute large quantities of content, hundreds of channels between the two of them. In both cases, each client is using compliance logging and monitoring technology to record distributed content being delivered to the viewer. Logging and monitoring of aired content is commonly done for compliance reasons. The validation of subtitles, to confirm audio loudness, compliance, ad verification, quality of experience verification, etc. It's also commonly used to authenticate the consistency of aired programming. Now, each of these functions boils down to extracting data and information from distributed content, whether it's over the air, cable, satellite, VOD, OTT, or wherever it's coming from. So leveraging high-value media intelligence by automatically generating and extracting metadata from within the content was the primary challenge for each of these client success stories. Can you give us quickly, Russell, some additional detail on these two use cases?
I'll be very brief for considering the time. So think about making the video as readable as possible. Let's say making all the video asset that we have, all the video asset that we have, think about making it readable in every way possible. Think about the possibilities that we have. So that is where all this is coming from. So in this case, what is happening is, let's say replacing a product based on consumer demand. So what is in the fridge or in the refrigerator? What is in the refrigerator when you open a refrigerator? Is it going to be a Coke bottle, or is it going to be a beer bottle, or is it going to be something else? Is it going to be a Pepsi bottle, or is it going to be another soda? So all that today is possible by identifying what is in there, what is in the video content, tagging those, and then deciding what needs to be replaced. So that was one use case. The second use case was basically trying to identify ad spots. What is the high value points to place a mobile phone ad, or what is the high value point to place a lifestyle ad? So automatically, in order to automatically identify those, you need a collection of metadata that tells the broadcast or the MVPDs as to what exactly is there in the content, so that they can come up, use a set of algorithms to accurately point out that this is a high value point for this particular ad or this specific type of ad. So that was the second use case in terms of using video intelligence technologies. We were doing that. That's what we were doing.
Right, correct. So, one additional point, maybe if we can quickly mention it here, is that product placements, as you just mentioned, are contractual items. These are billable events, just like a traditional ad. And really, prior to the advent of AI, operators could not easily identify product placements without significant amounts of time and human intervention to make that happen. This essentially becomes a sort of side application, is it not, Russell?
Yes, you're exactly right. So all these were manual. Today you can detect every inch, be it logos, be it face, be it objects, be it labels, everything you can do it automatically and present that to the user so that they can make a decision based on it. Yes.
Right, and that of course includes logos as well, logo identification within the media content itself, correct?
Okay, thanks, Ed and Russell. We gotta get to our next. Do you guys want to leave us with a quick how can people get started?
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. So please visit us with any questions. Feel free to reach out to us at our website, digital-nirvana.com. You can reach out via phone. All of our contact information is there, and we look forward to connecting with each of you and discussing further how we can be of assistance in the work that you all are doing. So thank you for your time and attention. It's great to be here. And Matt, we'll turn it back over to you.